Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to this thing called podcast. J Bravo back once again. We are just here chilling. We are live at Set the Pace Studios. It is gonna be a good one today. Big shout to Nana on the camera. LG and Weeksy are about. They're just chilling, and yeah, we're about to go off. So around this time of recording, we had the Jubilee just happened. Yeah, the Queen's Jubilee just happened, and we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be great if we could get the Queen in here? So we called the Queen, and she has accepted and was like, yes, I will grace you with my presence. So it is a pleasure to introduce the Queen today. Please welcome to our studio and to our podcast the wonderful, magnificent D3.
Hello, Bravo.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm not too bad, you know, thanks.
Good. So yes, you are a veteran in the game.
Is that my status now?
That is the status, man.
Oh,
veteran, pioneer, even.
Good.
When
I'm
it
liking
comes
it.
to yes, when it comes to Leeds hip hop, when it comes to Yorkshire music, you were definitely one of these people that was hitting the ground running. Talented singer, talented rapper, talented producer, performer, poet, host,
Wow.
compare.
Gonna come here more often.
Yeah, man, events, man. We're here. Yes. The common term now is we give people flowers while they are here. You know, we don't like to use the term was.
Well, thank you for having me as well.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Yeah, we've got to, because you know it was true like what you were saying, because you just did your single launch last week.
Yes, I did.
And you were saying this the platforms that we have need to be from the door, introducing the female voices.
Yes,
the
most
sisters with
definitely.
voices in our community.
Yes.
So
I mean, the music game is difficult. Obviously, everybody knows that. But yeah, being a female in the music game and in a predominantly male genre, it's difficult. I've had some hurdles.
yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest hurdle, if you can think of one that's either like one that stood out or one that is most consistent? Right.
I think most consistent is, you know, we tend to have a lot of males creating these nights that create the platforms, and then they kind of just produce that in-house. So they go to their own crew, their own clique, their own, and, you know, trying to find a foot through that door is a consistent difficulty.
Right. Okay, so it's just kind of
Definitely.
like they have their set names,
Yeah.
their set circuit,
Yeah.
their set roster.
And that's how it's been over the years,
Right.
definitely. So as much as, you know, I don't really care about other people's lines and boundaries, so I'm just going to go for it anyway. But there's been a plethora of performances that I've done, events that I've done, and I'm the only female on the bill, and that is just not representative of the talent that's out there
Yeah.
in the female world.
Right.
So we need more girls in here. It's true. We need some more
Too
girls
many
in
man,
here.
too many man.
Too many man, too many man.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like it said. Okay. So we just like it to take it back to the beginning of your
Wow.
journey. I mean, the beginning you can take it from when you first started doing music, or just growing up in the Leeds area.
Let's see where my beginning is. I think I'm actually going to start my beginning in 90s female hip hop.
Okay.
In my teenage years,
Right.
where I feel that I was empowered by that music. It gave me the strength and the kind of confidence to say, you know, I am who I am and take it or leave it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, and there was a lot of female empowerment in 90s female hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want no scrubs. You can't treat us like that. Who you calling a bitch?
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was letting females know we don't have to take this either misogyny or just being put down by the other sex. And we have the power and have got the you know, the strength to stand up and do this. So that's where my kind of attitude came from. Now I'm, you know, a mixed race female born in the 70s, so I had, you know, the fact that I was unacceptable as a female, as a mixed race person.
Right.
Lots of different things in the time when I was growing up. So it was a nice outlet for me to have, you know, the kind of strength and, you know, support put on, you know, me from these powerful black female hip hop artists.
Yeah, yeah.
To give me strength to say, do you know what?
To push back.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think when it comes to females in music, we do have a wave where we kind of get so far and we kind of become more empowered and things like that, and then, you know, then we get taken back. So there's like, you know, all the females are bearing themselves on, and, you know, skin all over the place and the kind of things that they're talking about, and now they take back this strength or it's retracted because now we're all, you know, making love in the club. No, nobody makes love in a club. No, I'll tell you straight now. If no people don't know, hear it from me now. No one makes love in a club. It's as simple as that. You know. So yeah, we need to keep pushing back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
man, if I could go
stuff goes on in clubs, yeah. But I'll tell you now, that's not making love.
No one makes love in the club. Yeah,
so we have this kind of, and it's something that I've seen, lived through, and been a part of. You know, because I also like to put my, you know, short skirt on and go dancing and whatever. But at the same time, you know, my personal core and part of my branding is female empowerment because, you know, we're very strong, fierce females out here, and we don't always get the recognition. And it's to do with the case of the fact that we have kids, we become mothers, you know, our priorities change most of the time. And we tend to be the most prominent parent. And so for these reasons is why, you know, females are not like, you know, getting promotions and things like that, because at the end of the day, your school's going to phone you, your child's fallen off the climbing frame, and you've got to go now because it's just a fact. So this is one of the reasons why females have been held back. But we are amazing at, you know,
very
delegating, organising, and that's just from being a mother. The skills that you get from being a mother are untouchable, to be fair.
Yeah. Please elaborate on that, because a common term that people do not like to hear is, well, have you ever been a mother? Are you a mother? Do you know what I mean? What? Have you been? No, because that's because women do say that. Women do say that a lot. Unless you have brought a child into this world, you do not know about certain things. And I think a lot of people just kind of get like, well, what does that have to do with this? So I would like you to...
Well, actually I will, because there has been times, personally, in my life when I'm like, oh, I'm just a mum. There is no such thing as just a mum. A mother is a cook, a cleaner, a doctor, a taxi driver, a dentist. The things that you have to do, you know, you're all of these people in one. Anything that happens to this child, they come to you, and, you know, a mother is God in a child's eyes. So anything they come to you with, Mum, I've got a problem with this, you have to figure that out, you know, immediately. So you're a delegator, you know, you can think on the spot, you can, it's mad, and you just do these things because it needs to be done, but you don't really see, when you transfer them to a skills basis.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I was in uni and I was a mature student, I had 3 kids at home, and like, you know, like when you had the holidays and I'd catch up on work and I'd think, right, I'm going to go hit the ground running when I get back to uni, and I'm going to keep up, because, you know, you get piled up with work and things like that, and things start to slip. And, you know, you go with all these best intentions, and then you come home, the electric's gone, the freezer's defrosted, there's water all over the floor, and now you've got to think of something else.
Right.
You've just come in to come and do this food, and it's all gone to pot. So, and you're looking at your kids, we're all looking at you to kind of come up with a solution now. I'm like, no, you go to the chip shop, you get the mop and clean up the thing, I'm going to go get the electric. Do you know what I mean? You have to kind of delegate immediately.
Yeah.
You have like one kind of split second, oh my God, what should I do? Now, and if that's kind of is able to transfer into the business world, and you're able to recognise the mad skills that a mother has, it could be utilised rather than shunned.
But, yeah, and you're always on that freeze mode, and you're always like, you've got you've got no time to be like, all right, give me half an hour, we'll figure this out.
Yeah, got half an hour. Everybody's looking at you. All eyes. I've got 3 sons. I had 6 eyes on me. What are we gonna do, Mum?
Yeah.
And I got to figure that out right now.
And boys as well, so you have to figure out their needs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's not just like, you're not just dealing with kids, you're dealing with sons, you're dealing with men's needs, so you have to learn more about men and how men interact with the world.
Grow a boy into a man, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Have the kind of respect but also, status as well, because that's a boy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How you are with other boys.
Yeah.
And how you perceive. I mean, it's an everybody
Definitely.
thing,
but yeah, with men, it is a thing where we're just like, okay, not to get embarrassed, to have some pride. Have I got the latest gear on, or at least gear that I can finesse? Do you know what I mean? If you don't have the money to do it, then you've just got to have to
rock it.
Be coordinated. You know what I mean?
I've never been really a name wearer.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down like that rather than it be my finances. It's just not my thing. It's not my bag.
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem with like names or everything, but I've never been, oh my God, I have to have Versace
Nike,
this. And
everything Nike. Babies in Nikes.
No.
For shoes that they're going to grow out in 3 weeks or so.
No, I don't have. My grandson's got Nikes that I buy him. I'm not going to lie.
I don't mean that. I just mean the babies in Nikes. Because one of my cousins, he was just like, look, my kids, it's going to be nothing but Nikes. And I was thinking to it, I'm like, look, do you know what I mean? One thing I know about kids is that they're not Nikes to him, they're just trainers.
Yeah.
So if he's out in all Nikes, that's fine. But, he's still going to go in the mud. He's still going to slide across the floor.
Only you're going to screw about it now because he's wearing his Nikes. Why did you put them on? Put trainers on that you can't play out. But why did our parents do that to us as well, though? You had like this good stuff that you wouldn't actually be able to do anything with.
Yeah, that's it. You just become an ornament.
Don't move. Don't put a crease in your trainers. That's another boy thing, isn't it? You lot got trainers and you didn't want to put a crease in the front bit there.
Yeah.
And so you're like walking like that, trying to not crease the front of your trainers. Why?
But then they hurt. If they're not like that, you've got to have worn them in to some degree so that they're comfortable. But then, if you get the big lean in the middle. It's like, oh no, what's going on with your crease and your trainers?
But I mean, I think that's quite cool about the kids of today, though. They're not tied to names and brands. They seem to just wear whatever they want, and I love that element about them.
Yeah. There's definitely, people are just more about how they can express themselves through whichever way.
Shift.
There's not this kind of thing about how much things cost anymore. You still got the people. I mean, just because the things are just too expensive anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And I think people are just more conscious of things that look ridiculous. I think everyone's like, not everybody is wearing Yeezys.
No.
Do you know what I mean? As big as they're supposed to be, not everybody is wearing them. Some are just like, it's just not worth the money. They look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's just this whole consciousness about being sustainable and not just being frivolous and things so much anymore. So
certainly the last 3 years taught people that as well. Like, a lot of things just did not matter anymore.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Who cares?
A lot of things that used to mean so much to people just didn't matter through them.
I remember putting a post on Facebook saying, God, I've just stood in front of my wardrobe for 10 minutes. This is during lockdown. Stood in front of my wardrobe for 10 minutes deciding what to wear. Who cares? I think that was the last day that I wore a bra during lockdown.
Oh, right.
I thought, no, man, I'm not doing this anymore. There was a whole network out there, the braless females. Like, no, man, we're inside. We don't have to have these tit slings strapping us up.
Yeah, man, the freedom. They'll never take off. They'll take our freedom, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah, they totally took our freedom. That was a lot, that, wasn't it?
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
You know, I was in touch with my friend, and she, Vinny. She just had a brand new son. Well, her first son. She's got five kids. Her last one is a boy. Yeah. So her husband's is like, yes, mission complete. And I got a message from her. This was in 2020 because she works in the medical industry.
Yeah.
And I was like looking for the scoop, and I was like, look, what are we in for? I was like, look, be honest, you're on the inside. What are we in for? And she was like, well, it's gonna be a rough 12 weeks. It's in 2020. She's like, it's gonna be a rough 12 weeks or so, man, especially for you because you got asthma, so watch out, man.
Wow.
Yeah, these next couple of months are gonna be rough. I was like, okay.
So I thrived during pandemic.
Well,
I'm one of the thrivers.
yeah.
Because as a creative, you know, staying at home and being able to get on with stuff that I didn't have time for before was like a dream of ours, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, so changed. Obviously before that I was doing, you know, my solo stuff, poetry.
Yes.
And I was also in the jungle band.
Hayashi? Is that Hayashi? Yeah.
So I did that for years.
I never knew
fun.
you fell under that genre. I didn't know that it was that Hayashi was a jungle music band.
Oh yeah, jungle
specifically.
Bass. Yeah, definitely.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought Hayashi was Hayashi, man.
No, yeah. But lots
Very
of fun.
talented. Yeah,
lots
talented.
of fun. Oh, amazing talent. And it's a shame that we're still not about at the moment.
Yeah.
But that gave me a chance during pandemic lockdown to kind of rethink things, because obviously I've spent a lot of years out there live performing all over the place with people on my own, all sorts of things. Everything shut down. Obviously I was also working in festivals as well, so I just got my P45 from AP Securities. That's how I found out I wasn't working anymore, from my P45 being delivered by email. And so I thought, you know what, I've got to record this stuff that I've been doing, because I haven't had the time. I've been a mother of three, doing all, and had so much live performances booked in, and was so busy.
Yeah, because everything was basically just built for the stage. Everything just had the stage in mind. Yeah.
So now I'm a recording artist.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like I've been in the studio before, but I didn't take things and get them to that kind. I did like things for backing tracks for my performances. You know what I mean? So now, got them mastered and all that kind of stuff, and releasing tracks. So I released a track in January called Check Me Out.
Yes.
Which is available on all streaming platforms and on YouTube, D3 UK. And I just released another track on Saturday gone.
Is that Just Be?
Just Be.
Yeah.
Just Be, which is about female empowerment. It's about sorry. It's about gender inequality.
It's about gender inequality.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know, I had somebody tell me years ago, when they saw me perform and spit my lyrics and that, and they said to me, "Oh, but have you ever thought of giving your lyrics to a man though?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "You write them and give them to a man so he can spit them."
I mean, in this day and age, it can kind of be done.
It can definitely be done, but why do I have to?
Why?
I'm on stage doing it now.
Why? You're barely getting your own platform, and now you got to give it to somebody else.
This is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Oh, you sound good. You should give them to a man.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I have my own lyrics? I wrote them.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of barriers that, I've come across, and I've worked with people in the industry. I've pulled people in and said, we've got this opportunity and whatever, and then you can clearly see that they've got something going on now. You might have even spoken to me and you still haven't said anything to me about this opportunity. Yeah. It's proper being like that, one-sided street. But, I'm still here, and I feel like, certain people are realising she's not going anywhere, this girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely. You can't beat her, so we might as well join her.
Definitely.
One of those.
Yeah. It was a shame I couldn't get to see like your full night that you put on when you did your launch party, because you also had Nikki Blaze there.
Yeah. She blew up the spot.
Yeah.
And obviously Chubby Chub's there. She blew up the spot. We tore up that stage.
Yeah, and then Colette. was with you.
Yeah,
Colette, Dave.
Colette
Colette Francis, was with you as well, and she's got
an
belter on her,
voice,
she's got a belter on her, and I did like
operatic stuff.
Yes, and I did like you guys' cover of
That's all you like it. I don't think you like you wanted to get on stage.
I was like, is she gonna do like her own verse, or is she just gonna spit? And she just spat the lyric. I was like, okay, do the cover, my cover song.
You know what I mean? Let me blow your mind. I mean, 90s hip hop, I told you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, why can't we do things like that, like tribute? You know, tribute bands are big. They're going out all over the UK. You've got all these little Elton Steves and going on. Why can't there be like a hip hop cover band or showing tribute, paying homage to the...
I always do that. I mean, when I did Unity a few years ago, before pandemic, I did Queen Latifah's UNITY as a cover track. Yeah. Because obviously it was Unity Day, and I thought...
Well, yeah, of course.
Hello, do you know what I mean? It's the unity. You get me? And
please tell me you used the B words. Please tell me.
I did, of course I did.
Yes, go again.
I've actually got a whole show that I wrote about this.
Yeah.
So anybody out there listening that wants to kind of throw money at me and we could create this, the show is actually called "Who You Calling a Bitch?"
Ah, okay.
And it's about how 90s female hip hop empowered women across the globe. So it's got a lot of 90s female hip hop tracks in it, but also running through it is a narrative about the things that females go through growing up, and how they got something from the music that they were listening to, and it kind of gave them maybe an answer to a question or a feeling, or help them along the teenage journey, which can be quite difficult when you try to sort out your own identity and all that kind of thing. So.
And the thing is with Who You Calling the Bitch as a concept is that you had the women against it, but then you had people like Lil' Kim that was I'm the queen bitch, the supreme bitch. So there was that kind of...
And that's what I'm talking about, the wave.
Yeah.
You take 2 steps forward and somebody steps back, do you know what I mean? Because we all liked, you know what I mean? All the different types of... You know what I mean? Because, and like I was saying about the skin all over the place, there's also that thing of, we should be able to wear what we want. And so because I'm down for both arguments.
And well, not even arguments, but just both expressions. Because that's what the night is. You had you had TLC on one side and the Lear on one side, and they were still sexy, but they were in the dungarees.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you know what I mean? And then you had SWV, and there was like, I know saying hip hop, but I classify certain singers in hip hop as well, like Mary J. Blige, SWV, Total. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. I put them in that bracket as well. And they would wear like the one suits, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. It wasn't always flesh. You know what I mean? You had like, I think it was really just Little Kim, really.
It was just Little Kim, to be fair.
Really just Little Kim and dancers in the background. And then
because she took her sexuality and marketed that. And if you've got it, flaunt it, and if you've got it, kind of use it, kind of thing. So I get that, and this is what I'm talking about with the wave. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I, don't over expose myself on stage because I want people to listen to my lyrics. I'm not standing here, so you can look at my curves and my...
There's a different kind of club for that. I mean, you're in a music club now.
And you can definitely find me out in a club somewhere, like scantily clad, and giving it scenes. But if I'm on stage, first of all, I don't necessarily feel totally comfortable like that. I like to be in flat shoes and things like that. I mean, right. Little Kim did all this in the strappy sandals all the way up her leg, didn't she? And but I don't feel like stable on stage like that. I'd rather be in my comfortable clothes and then I can give my attitude how I like to give it. But that's just it's a personal thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. On this same journey as that, I feel like I've jumped onto the back of the female empowerment that I've received over the years, but I want to continue that. I want to reiterate that because, like, them tracks that we were just talking about now, the kids of today don't know about. Do you know what I mean? And like, even when I did that show at Unity Day, people were like, "Oh my God, that song!" And like, I had one singer that I had on stage with me was one of my friend's daughters, and I had to teach her the track, and she was like, "This track's sick." I'm like, "These tracks are old. You should be knowing about these tracks." Instead of conforming to again, this kind of imposed placement for females.
Because then
brought back down onto people.
Because then there's that thing of where it's kind of like they put a reset on it. So it's like there's this thing where there's female rappers around, and then there's no female rappers around. Or there's no female rappers around, because I know Jean Grey and Rhapsody were going at the same time that Nicki Minaj was going, but they just put this narrative that there's no female rappers around.
They just put it out there.
And then they just put Nicki Minaj in your face, and all there's just Nicki Minaj's image.
Yeah.
And she just like speaks for everybody.
Yeah, she does.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, she did for a long time, but the waves come back now where there's been a few.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's been a few that's come. The Iggy Azalea came, Azalea Banks, Cardi B.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then it's gone reduced.
And then you go
it's
back
reduced
again
back
with,
down to Coil Ray now. Now it's like it's just reduced down to Coil Ray.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. So, but
she was like the little Kim of this time, innit?
Of this time, yeah. Well, I think she kind of ripped her off for me. She ripped off a lot of her style.
Oh, Nicki Minaj ripped off.
She ripped off a lot of her style. She ripped it right off.
That's why I said.
She's like, she didn't even want to acknowledge that Lil' Kim was the first person to say, "I'm the Black Barbie." She doesn't even want to acknowledge that, and I'm like, you took that from her.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Thinking that everything's just fresh and from your time.
It's like it's gonna be better if you do give the credit. It's like, yo, this comes from here, and what she did comes from here, and you can pass keep it going. You know what I mean? Keep it moving, passing back and moving forward.
Well, you got to see your influences as well, and respect them for the influence that they gave you. Really?
Definitely, yeah, man. So that's what drove you to perform that on Unity Day, as well as the UNITY.
Well, because I obviously you get a gig, you do a set and whatever, and like now, where I am, bringing out my own stuff, some of the stuff that I've had for years and I performed out, but I've never released as a track, so I kind of took a step back. So, sometimes I'm just wanting to fill out like a set, without putting too much of my own stuff, because I'm bringing that in dribbles kind of thing.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Still working out.
And for a long time there was like, there's nowhere I can kind of fit of doing covers of other people, and then I thought, don't be stupid. All that, rapping and stuff that I used to do in your bedroom, still there. Still there. So, you know what I mean? And it's always really good to, for nostalgic reasons, to kind of bring that kind of vibe and energy back, and because that's kind of where I kind of compare myself to. Regardless of lyrics, it's the feeling, it's the attitude, and of that time. So it's a good thing to kind of input, and people really enjoy it, because it's always good to let people like know where we are for an evening, and it kind of sets the bar, do you know what I mean, of where, and to bring something that they already know, that they can dance to,
sing along,
do you know what I mean, they can sing along to get them comfortable in the space, so that kind of when I bring in my kind of fresh tracks that they don't know, they've already got kind of an energy flowing, kind of thing. So it's always good to do, and all of them artists from back in them days, they're gonna get some kind of showcase in one of my gigs, because I want like Eve or Queen Latifah to see me and be like, oh yeah, she's still bringing it, I want to go check out this gal.
Definitely.
Or let's do something together or whatever.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because all them cover bands out there, you're not getting these cover bands of female hip hop. I'm covering their stuff.
It's hard,
and I'm really enjoying it, because it's totally like when he was practicing and learning the words at home or whatever, and you imagine that was you on stage or whatever.
Oh, listen, I did it.
I'm getting to do it live.
Oh, listen, I was chilling with a friend, and I went back in, man, and I was playing some Cookie Crew, and some Nana Cherry, and some Technotronic, and all that kind of stuff, man. I even went that far back, and it's just like, man, there's a certain buzz to it. Do you know what I mean? Love all that stuff. So the Brat, yes, of course. The Brat. I never really caught onto her till later on. I never really heard the first stuff. But like when like 99. Do you know what? First time I properly listened to her was the Ladies Night remix. When all of them was on that track. And I thought she was not even a rapper like that.
No, I know.
She's a DJ. She's got like she ended up doing 2 albums, but from that she was on like she did something with KRS-One because KRS-One wrote something for her. He was like, I want you to be on it. And then from there, she got on like the biggest female collaboration record.
Yeah, that would have been.
That was like a second thing. It was just like, what? You know what I mean? Because they just loved her as a DJ so much.
This is a collective of fierce females. They thought, oh yeah, let's get together and do a track together. Ladies' night, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you put from today's pickings together?
Put together. I would put I'd put Rhapsody. Definitely Rhapsody has to be on there.
Yeah.
I would put Gavelin on there. I really like Gavelin. I would put who else on there? Who am I thinking of? Megan Thee Stallion. I'd put Megan Thee Stallion on there. I'd put Steph London on there.
Would you?
Oh yeah. Steph London's rough. She was steering away from the rapping and she was doing the singing more.
Yeah.
And there was a bit like she did a freestyle over the Timberland.
Yeah.
Over with the Fat Man Scoop. Oh my God, she killed it. And she came. She did the chatting. She did the bashment chat on it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, you have to send me a link for that. I want to hear it.
Oh no, we'll play that on them speakers, man. Ooh. Yeah, Steph London, and probably someone like Lady Leisha.
Oh yeah.
But but I would have a mix of what's going on in America and what's going on in the UK because I think it's more like as far as like the commercial sound, it's very much at a time where UK and US's music is blending together a lot more easy. Yeah, because Giggs did a song with Drake. Do you know what I mean?
The world's
like
getting smaller, innit? So
man.
And this is another thing that happened in pandemic. People were doing like tracks together over Zoom.
Yeah.
And so people were connecting with people that you'd never get a chance to, you know what I mean?
That's
because of logistics, but there is no boundaries anymore, you know what I mean? We'll do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
We'll record it on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so
record it, record it on the internet, email it. And
technology has set us free for these creative projects. Amazing. You have to love that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I tend to get dragged kicking and screaming through technology, like apps and that.
Yeah, not a fan.
Well, I mean, I'm just about getting like a hold of my Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And the kids are like on Snapchat and TikTok, and I've got a TikTok account. I got like one video on it, but I don't know how to work the platform, and I've got the inclination of interest to find out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wanted to learn about like videos more, like on a basic level.
Yeah.
How to put a video together, basic level, with your cameras and same intro and your sound and things like that. It's just gotta get on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Videos, music videos. That's what I need to do this year.
Yeah. Gotta get a couple going. I reckon you should do a freestyle video as well. Get yourself on. Bless the Mic or First Be the TV, one of them. Yeah. Where the youngsters are and just get on one of them, find a nice little instrumental and just go off on one.
But it's because I'm now obviously busy doing other things again because I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
So during pandemic, Sarah, Autumn, my business partner, and I created and produced and started hosting Loudspeaker radio show.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a spoken word radio show. We were actually broadcasting on Chapel FM, but we're in a transitional period now.
Okay.
We're going to move over to podcast because it's going to give us more freedom. Our show on Chapel FM is an hour long, and organically it tends to be an hour and a half with the interviewees or the live performances we have in there. So, when we edit it and we're always not happy with the stuff that we have to cut out to make it an hour long. So
yeah.
We want our own freedom because we people of today just want to do what they want to do and do that, don't they? So we're going to do that as well, move to podcast. But we also set up a social enterprise that creates platform and gives voice to underrepresented communities.
Okay, yeah, man.
So we've been doing live events.
Okay.
and you was on like the Hip Hop Historian
So that,
event
yes,
last year. So that was a
collaboration kind of.
with the Hip Hop Historians and BTL, which is our social enterprise between
Okay.
the lines.
All right.
Details
Okay.
and
Right.
stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
So we've got loudspeaker, between the lines. Obviously D3 Creations. I'm doing writing workshops and stuff like that. As well as Sarah's also doing Anarchy Artists, which is what's helping manage me and promote me. So, and there's
Okay.
going to be other artists on that label as well soon. So very, very busy still. Like I said, thrived during pandemic.
Nice.
Thrived. Wrote a chapter for a book about my experiences with racism, because obviously Black Lives Matter all kicked off during lockdown as well. So I was asked to write a chapter, and obviously I've been a writer for years, but this was just straight, blatant writing about me.
Right.
And
Okay.
oh my God, it's a complete different style of writing, just writing about you. So I was talking about, being born mixed race in the 70s and experiencing racism from both sides. I never met my grandparents, on my mum's side, my mum's mum and dad. They didn't want to know me.
Not interested.
Never met them.
Wow.
And so there was racism from both sides. I also
Yeah, but that's like you. I mean, that's a hefty blow.
it's much more common than you would actually realise.
Yeah, that's hefty.
That's a different branch, we'll call it, of racism, because obviously black people deal with a lot of racism, but both of their parents are black.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen at home. It didn't happen in your immediate circle, whereas my mum's mum and dad, that's all I can call them. I can't call them grandparents.
Well, yeah, because they were parents.
My mum's mum and dad
Yeah.
never had anything to do with us. So there was immediately half a family that got chopped off for us. Do you know what I mean? So this is a different branch. And this is what I got to write about in this chapter, and a different view. Because people always see racism as black and white.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but slightly. Whereas there was another level, and there's a level of racism between mixed race people and black people. And that also continues.
Yeah.
I had a man that lived on the same cul-de-sac as me years ago, and he called me ethnically challenged. I can see the face. So yeah. So this is what my face did. No. This is what my face did, and this is how I had to figure it out. Ethnically challenged. What does he mean by that?
Yeah. I'm not.
So wait a minute. So think about the challenges that you have. You can be mentally challenged.
Right.
You can be physically challenged.
Right. So what? Ethnically challenged? What you're struggling?
Ethnically challenged.
What you're
So
struggling?
he's talking to me about my race or you being a disability.
Yeah. Like you're struggling to be black or something, or you're struggling
I'm
to
be black or struggling or white.
Yeah.
I'm just ethnically challenged.
Like what? Just
like what? So I kind of got to write about that, but it also gave me an insight because we was all locked up, and it kind of took people in an inward journey, I suppose.
Yeah.
But because I was writing this chapter, I was thinking, about how things have actually been, and that's when I thought, my mum's mum and dad didn't want to know me before I was born. I was already deemed unacceptable before anybody even saw me.
Yeah.
So no wonder I've been fighting, because people think, Donetta, she's got a mouth, she's gonna. But I've been fighting maybe to be accepted all this time, because I've been running that race since birth.
Yeah.
And then being like in certain situations, like again, in a predominantly male dominated genre and industry, I'm still fighting to be accepted. So maybe I enjoy it. It's just my default setting now. But
just just rising up to the ethnic challenge, as some people would say, or one person.
Yeah.
One person was creative enough to say, I don't know.
So it allowed me to look back on myself and go, oh, is that why you're like that? Oh, is that why you're like that? I was talking about, Ali G in, the early 2000s?
Yeah.
We were so programmed into this norm of two different statuses between white people and black people, that now we are sitting down watching a man take the piss out of all these different ethnicities,
All the
and we are laughing
stereotypes,
with him. We are laughing at him taking the piss out of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the point of crying, you're laughing.
Oh, yeah,
You're laughing
yeah.
at her split sides, and that's programming.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Fed to you with a sugar spoon.
Alistair Graham.
Yeah.
You know, and it was thingy.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, because it took him a long time to be like, yeah, well, you know, the point is that, you know, the character of Alistair Graham is a white guy and he's trying to be black, and that's the whole point of the joke, and it's like,
Yeah.
And we laughed. We fell for it. We made him rich.
We made him rich.
We made
laughed.
him.
We fell for it, and I talk about this in the book.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How society and medium and all of these different things can drip feed things to you to make it normal and acceptable to your own eyes, to the point where you're accepting it now and you're finding it funny.
Accepting your own oppression.
You're accepting your own oppression.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me a lot of things to kind of work through and look at from an outside point of view, inwards. So that was a really interesting piece of writing, that, you know, and, you know, I have to say that there was something about that changed me during lockdown, you know, that kind of looking over myself and my immediate influences and seeing how that shaped me as a person.
Well, that's wonderful.
That
is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so maybe I'll always strive to be accepted. But there's a part of me that doesn't really care. Yeah, and
you well and truly are accepted. You have a strong following, and you have wonderful people by your side. You have a brilliant family of your own, as as the lineage that you are from. You know, because I went to school with your sister and stuff. I don't know if I went. Was you Earl Cowper as well? I don't know if you was.
No, I didn't go to Earl Cowper.
No.
I was shipped out. Sorry, but you can't talk to somebody about a school that's not there. I didn't go to Earl Cowper.
No,
I went to Allerton Grange Middle.
That's
where everybody lost me.
Yeah,
I got shipped out at 9 years. Went up them sides. Allerton Grange Middle. Then went to Allerton Grange High School, and then schools turned into secondary schools.
Yeah.
So I ended up back in Allerton Grange Middle just to do English and maths.
Yeah.
Because it all turned into one school.
Oh, right, okay. I was telling you about when I was at the point when I was supposed to enter middle school.
Oh, yeah.
And then they changed the whole system and I never got to go to middle school. I was like last year. And they were like, right. So they changed the name of the school from Hamilton Primary to Hillcrest. So they changed the whole thing to Hillcrest. So then Earl Cowper.
Yeah, I went Hamilton Primary.
Earl Cowper didn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
It was like, so I never got to go to Earl Cowper, and I never got to stay at Hillcrest. They shipped me off to Brackenedge. So it was like, I just never got to cross them double yellow lines.
That was tight.
And go through my rite of passage to get into middle school. Yeah, they took it away from me. Mr. Knowles. Yeah.
See, I know the head teacher.
Miss Murphy. Mrs. Calden.
No, that's
Calder.
not mine.
Was it Calder?
Oh, you're talking about primary school now?
Yeah,
Mrs. Calder, class 1.
Yeah. Mr. McLennan?
Mr. McLennan. Mrs. Wollstonecroft.
Yeah, Miss Wolfencroft. She was an angel. She was an angel.
Mrs. Pogson.
Don't remember her. Mr.
Burgess.
Mr. Burgess.
Yeah,
Mr. Ballantyne.
He used to weed sink in corner. You remember?
No.
Yeah, he had a sink in the corner of his classroom, and he used to go behind that. There was like that partition, you know, like where you put your pictures on that thing. He used to go behind there and have a wee.
Oh.
Mrs. Murray.
Mrs. Murray, Miss Murray, yeah. I had her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad boy school, that though.
Miss Murray, yeah. Mr. Ballantyne, he was cool. He was cool.
Yeah, Mr. McLennan with his guitar in it. He used to get his guitar out.
Yeah. Oh, we're on 15. All right, and can't forget the dinner ladies as well. Miss Francis.
Yes.
Mrs. Francis, yeah. Mrs. Claxton. Yeah.
All lived on the back thingy behind school, didn't they?
Yeah, Mr. Smithen. And did Mr. Smithen used to work there as well?
Yeah, he did. He was a caretaker.
Yeah. Mr. Smithen. Yeah. Oh, wonderful people, man. Wonderful people.
Yeah, that was a good school.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so you didn't get to go to thingy. So yeah, I went to Hamilton Primary and Allerton Grange.
Right.
And then I went to intake to do sixth form.
Okay, right.
Did you know that?
No.
I did sixth form at intake. And then I did a little brief spell at Huddersfield Technical College.
Right. You went all the way out there.
Yeah. I knew that if I was around here with my own people, I wouldn't get the work done, so I had to
Right.
shit myself off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I didn't live at home by then and stuff. So what was the point in going if I'm not gonna, you know?
Oh, so did you live in Huddersfield for a bit?
No,
Or
no.
You just
yeah.
commuting.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but I
So-
left home at 15 and had my own flat by 17, so
Yeah.
there was no point in me going to Thomas Danby or something. I was just, yeah, it would just, I needed more discipline than that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So we'll get to the end. We'll talk about Leeds Young Authors.
Leeds Young Authors
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
So that was in this building.
Yes.
I got approached one day while I was here doing my MMPC music production, and these two ladies said to me, we're gonna be producing a writing workshop for children around here. Would you like to get involved? And I was like, get involved how? Like, you can mentor, you can do stuff. We've seen you about, you know what I mean, you'd be good. So I said, okay then. And the reason why I said okay is because when I wanted to be a writer at them young ages and said that's what I wanted to do, I used to write for this magazine in Chapeltown back in the day when I was like 18. And I thought there was nothing for me. So it was amazing that these ladies were creating something for the kids of that day. That was 2003, and that was Khadija Ibrahim and Paulette Morris. And yeah, then connected, ka-chink, and the rest was history. We did a writing workshop here on a Tuesday night, and the kids just piled in.
Yeah.
And then we ended up having to do, because it was for 13 to 19-year-olds, but younger and younger kids kept coming, so we ended up having to create another class that I kind of took hold of to get them ready for this class, because in the older class, the 13 to 19-year-olds, we were taking them to America to compete in the Brave New Voices poetry slams that are run by, I think it's Russell Simmons now, but it was...
Is it?
Yeah, it was... thingy at the time.
It was pretty prestigious back then, because I know I remember K1 was telling me that he met Layla Steinberg and
yeah, which is Tupac's mentor.
Tupac's manager, his first manager.
Manager. So yeah, I mean, we was doing that. I went to San Francisco the first time, and then the second time we were in LA. Amazing, absolutely mind blowing, and I've still got like 6 or 7 8mm tapes, because it was that camcorder, that big thing back in the day. 8mm tapes of that 5 days of slams, ciphering, just walking around the streets, and I had to buy another camcorder because my camcorder broke, to be able to fit the tapes in so I can watch them.
Okay.
And so we should actually have a little revival of them tapes, because I captioned a lot of that.
I mean,
and we've not watched them.
Yeah, your son
since.
deals in photography and film.
Man,
pass them to him, man. Tell him, he'll know how to get them transferred.
To think, we need to do that.
Yeah. Or even our good friend Nana might have some ideas of how to get that format.
You thought you were just coming here to do some filming, innit? There's more work.
Yeah.
But there's like 15 hours.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were saying a couple of tapes.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's about 6 or 7 tapes, and each tape like 2 or 3 hours long.
Okay.
There's about 15 hours of footage of me and the Leeds Young Authors
in America.
In America, going around. And that was like the best of the best of all states, all in the same state, competing over 4 days. And
then you guys was representing England.
We was representing Leeds, England.
Leeds, England.
Leeds,
yeah,
England.
we was keeping it.
We're not from London. Leeds landed there before London did, and because London always gets the praise
London,
all the time.
For the most part, London represent England.
But it was Leeds that was representing England
this time,
in the Brave New Voices from like 2003 to 2010. 11, yeah. And it was
Yeah.
amazing.
And the documentary you guys had, what was that called? The documentary?
Oh yeah, We Are Poets.
We Are Poets. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I went to see that at,
I think I was there.
was it what was that?
It
Cottage
was
Road. Was it Cottage Road?
It was
No.
the Hyde Park.
Hyde Park
the
Book Club.
theatre-
Hyde Park. Yeah, I knew it was a little thing. That's why I thought.
Hyde Park
Yeah,
Theatre House. I think that's what it's called.
And I see Saju in there because I
Yeah.
mean, who even filmed that? That was another year that they went to America, isn't it? As well.
Yeah.
So that was one of my years.
I think that was Alex. I think Alex back. I think he produced K1's video back then. He did back. He did
Really?
Bounce, yeah, and he did Broken Soul and Problem Kid. He directed them, and I think he was on the. I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah.
That was out there.
My name was on the credits though, so I was buzzing about that. I was like,
Oh.
I didn't forget me. Yeah, my name's on the credits.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I think you only saw me one slight snip of me in that.
Yeah.
On one of the.
Oh, you didn't fly out with them?
No.
They probably got you when you were prepping. Was you
'Cause
prepping? Was you
Well,
on
no,
prep
I
team?
was pregnant one of the years.
Ah.
I was pregnant with Keldon because Keldon's 18 now, so we're talking 2003,
Yeah.
and so I couldn't go that first year. And some of the other years, but yeah. Good times.
Good times, man. Good times. Yeah, and I'm sure you've made some lasting impressions.
Yeah, I have. I mean,
Yeah.
even with the radio show now, and you can submit to our radio show, loudspeakerradioshow@gmail.com, and any kind of writing that you're doing, if you want to submit, we have like topics of the show, so you can see what topic, if you've got anything from that topic you can submit. So we've had Saju on the show. He submitted some stuff,
Yeah.
and about mental health, and he was saying, oh, how did you get started? In his interview, how did you get started? He was like, oh, well, I've heard about Leeds Young Authors. Leeds Young Authors came into my school and they told me to come down to Host Media Centre, and I came down this Tuesday night and I was walking around outside. I didn't know whether to go in, and then I opened the door and I stuck my head in the door and I got scared and I just put my head back out the door and I was thinking, shall I leave? And then D3 bursts out the door and says, what you doing? Get inside here. And I was like, so I didn't really check for kind of the influence I've had on other people
Yeah.
until, and this was like post-pandemic as well, so I was like, oh, how I might think of other people who have influenced me. I didn't think of me as an influencer to other people,
yeah.
even though I've worked around them for so many years. But now that they're older and they look back and
reflect and,
and I
and
was
get
like,
to
oh no, I
tell
didn't
their
even
story.
pay him to say that,
That's right. There you go. Yeah, man. I just seen the ring you flexing. I just seen that.
I've had this ring for years.
Yeah, man.
I've had this ring for 14 years now.
Okay. Did you get it made?
My friend's got it. My friend's got it made for me for my 30th birthday.
Oh.
That's why it's 14 years old now.
All right. Also, that says 30.
No, it says.
Oh, it does say D3.
It says D3.
So I couldn't figure out if it said D3 or 30. Yeah.
D3.
Wait, I thought, yeah. My first guess it was D3, but then when you said it was for your
D3,
30, I was like,
yeah.
what? It doesn't say 3 or does it?
Yeah, and they had to get it made because you don't get numbers. You just
Yeah.
get the letters. You
Right.
get the letters. So they had to make the number.
Right.
But yeah, I love that ring.
Yeah, man. It's dope.
So when I'm holding the mic on that,
Yeah.
if you get a good picture, you can just see the D3.
We'll have to get another one made with the UK on it, so then it's got the full...
Well, the UK only came because people are using D3 on all these platforms.
Right.
So you have to kind of do something
Yeah.
to...
Well, I had to tag CAG to my name, because CAG was
Yeah,
the name
yeah,
of it was the name of the crew.
Yeah.
But there's just J Bravo's around. There's one J Bravo the on YouTube, and he talks about stocks.
Well, let's just say
J Bravo talks
D3.
about
There's a lot of design work and imagery.
Yeah.
D3, 3D, whatever. So yeah, D3 UK or this is D3 UK for some things, but D3 is who I am. But yeah, I am from the UK, so
Yeah.
D3 UK is the YouTube.
And to close out, why are you there? Does the name D3 come from?
Oh, what a good question, Bravo.
Yes.
Well,
Should have started with that really, but we can close out with why D3. Yeah.
Have 3 sisters, so there's 4 sisters. My mum and dad are 4 girls, and all our names begin with D.
Yeah.
And so I'm the 3rd.
No.
It was very well thought and drawn out.
Scientific, yes, very scientific breakdown.
Yeah, and so I'm D3.
Yeah.
Because people couldn't remember our names as Deslin, Delena, Donetta and Denisa.
Right.
And, you know, we all answer to all of the names.
Right.
If somebody says, Deslin to me, I'm going to answer. And we all do that. But we had it in our phones.
Right.
As D1 and D2 and
Right.
D3. That was how we were stored in each other's phones. And, yeah, so that's where my stage name came from.
All right.
D3. And people just call me it now as well.
Yeah.
Which is who I am because... Yeah, I have to remember which one is she. D3.
Which one is she? She's D3.
I'm the third, obviously.
Right. Okay.
Fairly simple.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, D3, thank you. If you'd like to close out by just once again reminding our viewers of your platforms and of your latest music projects.
So yeah, I'm doing the Product of Society tour right now. Product of Society is an album that I'll be dropping later on in the year. So I've had a few singles released from that album so far. There has been Check Me Out and Just Be, that you can find on all streaming platforms at but you can get me on Bandcamp of This Is D3 UK Music or D3 UK Music.
Right.
D3 UK, this is D3 UK Music, all that kind of.
We'll put it underneath. We'll get it accurate.
That's on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Can we? If Nella can do that, it'll be like it'll open up now.
Yeah.
And it'll be like right there.
Yeah. It's this. So, but I know that I'm D3 UK on YouTube, so you can go straight to my YouTube and check me out there.
Lovely.
And watch out for more single releases and the album dropping later this year.
Yes. All right. Well, yes. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Queen.
Thank you for having me.
D3. And this is J Bravo CAG, and we are signing off from This Thing Called Podcast.
Tell me what you know.